Obviously, we've seen Tommy in Part 6 played by Paul Rudd, and that's, one of my favourite films right there, Curse of Thorn. Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today doing another video. Today we're going to be talking about Halloween Kills and my personal predictions for this film. Obviously, I just want to point out there is a leaked script out there and I've not read any of it because I don't see the point in doing that, man. You're going to read the script for a film that's not even came out and spoil it for yourself. So yeah, this is just my personal predictions for the film. No spoilers apart from what we already know from like the trailer and interviews recently with the director and stuff like that. So no spoilers for the actual film. This is my pure predictions. Also, make sure you let me know your predictions inside the comments down below. This is the second part of the trilogy. We got one more film after this. I'm really interested to see what people think is going to happen. Now, this first prediction is not really a prediction because if you've seen the trailer, it basically spoils it. But Michael obviously escapes the trap from the last film, kills a few firefighters, and then one of the characters says if you follow the bodies on the map, he's going home basically. He's going back to his original house from '78. So that should be interesting to see. Obviously, like I said, this continuity is only the first film, the other films don't count, so we're going to go back to the Myers house, which I'm looking forward to. I wonder what his goal is there. Maybe he's, I don't know. Who knows? It'll be interesting to find out though. Another thing we've seen inside the trailer is Laura inside the hospital. I wouldn't be surprised if most of the film she's inside the hospital until the final act of the film when she goes after Michael. But also we see a lot of the town seeming stood outside the hospital kind of angry. So maybe we're going to get some sort of like Halloween 4, like mob rules. That was the original shooting script idea, I think the name when they were shooting the film, mob rules or whatever. But I could see the town like, we've had enough of Michael Myers. We know Laura's inside this hospital, or maybe even Michael's inside the hospital, who knows. And they're just out for blood, they're after Michael, just like Halloween 4. They've had enough Michael shit, man, and they're after him. So I could see the town like also hunting down Michael. Everyone's hunting down Michael inside this film, that's my prediction. We see Karen take off his mask inside the trailer as well, which I don't really like. I never like when they take off Michael's mask, but obviously they've done it since the first film. And even inside the original '78 film, we see him come off, his mask come off for like a few seconds. So it's not the first time they've done it, but I never really like it. I don't like seeing Michael's face. Obviously Rob Zombie took it to the extreme, but I mean, it depends how they execute it really. It could be some sort of plan to lure Michael outside. We're just gonna have to wait to see really, but right now I'm not really a fan of the mask being taken off, to be honest. Here's my biggest prediction yet. I think one of the three main characters are gonna die. And if it was up to me, I'd think it'll either be Karen or Laura. Because let's be honest, man, Laura's story's been told. Like, I do like Jamie Lee Curtis and I love Laurie Strode's character, but I think it's time to move on. Allison should be the next final girl, in my opinion. So I think either Laurie or Karen dies inside this film. If I had to take the pick, I think it would be Laura. But we'll get more to that in a bit inside my other predictions. This is sort of a prediction, but it's pretty obvious. I think this is going to be the biggest kill count yet for Michael. I think he's going to go on a rampage inside this film. Obviously, like the title implies, Halloween Kills, right? So we're going to be expecting a few kills inside this film. And judge it from the trailer, we're going to get some brutal kills as well. So, not really a prediction, but yeah, biggest kill count, I'm going to go with that. I think Michael's going to get a lot of kills under his belt inside this film. Now, this has been a rumour for a while, but I think they might actually go through with it. I think there will be a flashback to the original '78 night, because we know Michael gets arrested and he's locked up for years after that, the killings of the first film, because everything else didn't take place inside this timeline. So we're gonna have to be shown like how they arrested him after that night. He falls off the balcony after getting shot from Loomis, and then what? Does he like roam around the streets injured until they find him? They could play with that as well, because 6 times getting shot. They've always hinted that Michael's some sort of supernatural being, more films than others. Maybe this is the one where, we find out exactly how much of a mortal he really is. But yeah, I think we're going to get a flashback and there's going to be 6 seeing the original mask as well. Hopefully it looks good, because I have no doubt, man, the people working on this film, special effects and everyone, they do love the series, so I have my high hopes for this flashback, if we do actually get the flashback. Another prediction, we got the 2 characters from the original returning, Tommy and Lindsay, the characters that Laurie Strode was babysitting, if you remember, inside the original. I think one or two, or maybe even both, could die inside this film. I mean, it's not really a prediction if you think about it. People are going to have to die, right? But it's interesting that they're bringing them back. Obviously, we've seen Tommy in Part 6 played by Paul Rudd, and that's, one of my favourite films right there, Curse of Thorn. But we got Tommy back inside this film. And judging from the trailer, he's out for Michael with his baseball bat. So that's going to be interesting to see, but I think one or two of them will die. Judging from this shot right here with Lindsay, I think it's obvious she might be the one to die out of her and Tommy. I mean, just looking at this situation, she's got herself in right here. Unless someone comes for the save at the last second, I think Lindsay's biting the bullet right here, man. Let me know what you think. Obviously, this is from the trailer, so I'm not spoiling too much, but yeah, like I said, I've had to choose between Tommy and Lindsay. I think Lindsay's the one who's dying. No doubt about that. Which brings us on to this next photo right here of Cameron and Michael inside the house. Now, obviously, then Michael's not related to Laurie or her granddaughter inside this film, but seeing this photo, I just like to imagine Michael's like, I heard about how much of a dick you were inside the last film, kissing that other girl in front of Allison. No, we're not on about that, man. Same as the other photo here, we got choking situations going on. I compared this to the Lindsay thing. I think Lindsay might die, but I think Cameron might actually get saved here. I won't be surprised if he actually does die inside the film, no, but judging from this situation here, I feel like someone is going to save Cameron. But of course, let me know your thoughts as well. And you know, you might say, oh Jamie, you think a lot of people are going to die inside this film. Obviously, it's a Halloween film. It's called Halloween Kills. The only thing I'd really like to see is a Dr. Loomis cameo. Either just his voice or someone standing inside the shot, like, you know, a look-alike. But obviously we got his voice and the court sketches from the first film in Halloween 2018. And unfortunately, you know, Donald Pleasence did die a few years ago, so obviously that's not going to happen. But Loomis is such an iconic character to this series, man, it really is. And if we do see the flashback to 78, then Loomis was there on that night. So even if we just see the back of his trench coat or something, I think that would be pretty cool. But I'm sure, like, obviously we don't want someone, or we don't want CGI Loomis, but the voice was really good what they did in 2018, so something similar to that would be pretty cool in my opinion. Just to hear his voice, or just to see the back of him would be good. Good enough for me anyway. Let me know what you think as well, because Loomis and Michael, I think that's the pairing of the series, to be honest. Obviously people will say Laurie and Michael, but Loomis, man. Especially Donald Pleasence's Loomis. Iconic. Small prediction here, but the score, I mean, go on, it's a safe prediction to make. You know John Carpenter's going to bring his A game once again with his score. It's going to be amazing, no doubt about it, man. I can't wait to hear this score inside the cinema. 2018 is one of my favourite scores of all time. I love the synth version of the theme and everything like that. I can't wait for that. It recently came outside an interview promoting the film that David Gordon Green says that Halloween Kills and Ends, there's going to be a few years gap between them both. Originally, it was all going to take place on the same night, all three films, but now, due to COVID and everything, they've decided to separate the films for a little bit. So this is my major prediction for this film. Like I said before, I think one of the main three characters are going to die. I think it's going to be Laurie, to be honest. I think Laurie and Michael have one final showdown at the end of Halloween Kills. Laurie dies, and it looks like Michael dies as well. So then we get a few year gap between Kills and Ends, and then Ends picks up next year. A few years have passed and Michael comes back for Allison and maybe Karen as well. But I definitely think one of the three are going to die, and obviously a few YouTubers are saying this as well. Let's be honest, Halloween Kills, like, come on, it's not a Saw film. We're not expecting like some major plot twists and all that. It's a Halloween film. We want to see Michael fuck some people up. But I really do. I think Laurie's going to die. If I had to put money down on it, I think this is the final, well, not the final film, because I'm sure she's going to be inside Ends with flashbacks or something like that, but Laurie Strode's going to die inside this film, which makes sense because now they've, you know, decided to rewrite the story a little bit for the last film with a few year gap. It would make sense, you know, the characters are getting over the loss of Laura, they finally put down Michael, and then all of a sudden, Halloween night, Michael's back at it again, coming back out. And, you know, like I said, flashbacks to Laurie, that's possible. It could even be Karen. I think one of them are going to die, and it's not going to be Allison. Allison's been set up for a new final girl. So if it's coming down to Laurie or Karen, I'm going to go with Laurie to one to die. And obviously Jamie Lee Curtis has played this role quite a few times. We've already seen her die in Resurrection. It won't be the first time. But I have the feeling that she's kind of done with the role after this. I mean, let's be honest, man. The character needs to move forward as well. Michael Myers does. They're not even related inside this timeline. So we don't need him seen chasing Laurie all the time. We need new characters. We're in it for Michael if you think about it. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you think Laurie's going to die or Karen, or you think all three will survive until the next film. I can't wait for this film. Like I said, I'm a massive Halloween fan. I love 2018. It had its flaws, don't get me wrong, but much better than Rob Zombie's. I love Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 because that was something different, but his remake, oh god. Speaking of that, there'll be a new video next week ranking the 3 remakes between Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, so look out for that one. That's going to be an interesting one, no doubt about it. Yeah, it's going to do it for this video, everyone. Make sure you click like and subscribe, it really helps out. I love doing these horror videos. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm going to do plenty more. Until next time, stay safe, in a bit, peace out.